Well, at this point, I guess I might as well just rename the blog Weekly Flower instead of Weekly 50 because I just keep putting up photos of flowers each week. I'm obviously not going to do that, but I do like taking these kinds of pictures of flowers, and there's not a huge window in which you can do it. They show up in the spring, and then once you can find flowers all throughout the year, but the ones that I come in contact with, either at work on the OSU campus or just in my neighborhood, they're only there for there's a window of time basically, and I really like taking photos of them when I can. This one, again, is in my neighbor's field right across the street from my house. Only there's a difference. You'll notice that there are raindrops throughout this whole image. And that's the key thing here. This was after a rain. I don't know if it stormed or if it was just a rain, like a normal spring rain. But it had rained. And that adds this cool... There's a lot of things that it does. It adds this cool texture to everything. So there's these little shiny bits and drops of water throughout the whole image, and things have this shine and texture that they don't normally have because of the rain. There's also little sparkles, like on the blade of grass on the left-hand side, you see little dots of light. Those are because of raindrops. And my favorite, though, are the two large drops on that purple flower. And they're right in the foreground of the subject. There's the one that's like that darker purple patch on the left-hand side of the flower. It's got that large circle, that large drop of water. And then there's one higher up the flower, just on it's on the more translucent portion of the image. And those two drops make the whole image, in my opinion. So without those drops of water, it would be a pretty cool picture of a purple flower. But those two drops send a message to the viewer that there's something more going on here. Something has happened. It has rained, and you get the sense that there's like a cleanliness and a newness to this photo. I also like the way that there's this symmetry on the right-hand side of the frame, almost on that vertical third. You have these two flowers pointing up and away from each other diagonally. On the left-hand side, you've got the same thing, and that was intentional on my part. I moved myself in such a way, or positioned myself in such a way, so that both of those would be present in the frame along those vertical thirds. If I had to move just a bit to the right or just a bit to the left, it wouldn't have come out this way. So I really appreciate how it turned out, and I even shot with the right aperture this time. On last week's photo, I talked about how I wish I would have used a smaller aperture, and that's totally what I did here. This is f11, and I could have gone even smaller to get a little more sharpness to the purple flower, but as it stands, it works out just fine. So I really like how this turned out, and I wish I could say I'm going to do this all the time, but you never know when it's going to rain. So maybe next time it rains, I will be able to get another photo of some flowers.